Peace and love, family. Welcome again to U.S. Political Prisoners and You, brought to you by the powerful station known as Black Power Media on YouTube. If you have not subscribed, please do so. We got to control our own media. We got to control our own narrative, because this is what self-determination is about, to control your own narrative, to make sure that when your people talk to you and talk about our issues, that we have our own perspective, that we can guard, that we can make sure that it's clear and it represents us, who we are. We are people who understand that we have a right to self-determination, but that right must be activated. We must be out in the community. We must have connection. We must build relationships and continue to expand these ideas. I got my brother on, Brother David. I'm going to introduce him in a second, but I just want to briefly tell everybody about CURBFEST, how it went. I still have the date on the backdrop here. It's August 22nd, 2026, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Now that's a historical record. We also have the QR code that you can scan and donate, because we still taking donations. We still want to do what we can out of this moment so that we can make sure that our political prisoners have an opportunity to come home. There is the strategy campaign. There's two strategy campaigns. You have one that's the awareness strategy, and then another one that is the freedom strategy. The awareness strategy is what CURBFEST is about, making the community aware about political prisoners and their relationship to it. Then you have the freedom campaign, or the freedom strategy, which is the lawyers who need to get paid and who need to look at the law and see what's going on so that our political prisoners can come home. CURBFEST, we put a lot of work into it. We had a number of committees that came together. You had the outreach, you had the program, you had the fundraiser, and all that was a collective effort. And it came together, and it was well. It was very good. I thought the community came out. I thought that we were more present in the community, but some people saw different things. And that's why you have a summation. You have a different perspective of what occurred from that time. And I was told that you had people from the community come out and talk to us and wanted to know what was going on. We had a number of signs that was out there. We had information on political prisoners. Being that this is a strong Caribbean community, it was very important that we had the Virgin Island 3 up there. That meant a lot to me, as I'm part of that formation and raising awareness about them and doing what we have to do to bring them home. So just to see that information was there, that was very important to me. We had Kamal Siddiqui information, we had Kenny Zulu Whitmore information, and a number of our political prisoners. So that was very important that we had that. And I think that, the community, just to see that presence meant a lot to them, and let them know that, this that's going on is something that they need to recognize, something that they need to realize, that if it's that important for it to interrupt the regular routine that occurs in that neighborhood, then why not give their attention to it? Why not ask questions about what is this? Why is it happening? Why is it happening now? Why should I be concerned about it? Or should I even be concerned about it? I know one sister looked at the buttons that Brother Shep, one of the original Black Panthers, who was involved in this. Well, he was involved in it as far as showing up and having a table and having information about political prisoners and letting people know the legacy of political prisoners. He was actually one of the speakers, and he spoke about the last remaining political prisoners who were part of the Black Liberation Army, and as well as part of the Black Panther Party. Well, anyway, I seen one incident where he was at his table, and a sister went over there and she was looking at his buttons, and she said to him, "Oh, you have buttons." And I was overheard them talking, and I said, "Oh, sister, let me buy this button for you," because I wanted her to have a button of the Virgin Island 3. I gave him $1 donation for it, and she took it. She wanted another button. I said, "No, sister, I want you to have this," because I wanted her to wear this button. I want her to research the Virgin Island 3, and now every time she wore the button, she was promoting that idea. So anybody who saw her with the button is going to ask her, who is the Virgin Island 3? And now she's going to reflect on where she got it and the encounter that she had with me, because that's what we want to do. We want to have these monumental moments in our community where they are going off to their everyday lives and they're forced to address something that they experience. And now when they deal with what's going on, the struggle for food, clothing, and shelter, they understand that those are all aspects of our self-determination. And now our political prisoners are validated within that struggle, within that fight. So now we see the importance of our political prisoners, how they stand on principles. So my brother David, Mr. David Wilson, state your age and just let the people know who you are before I get into this first question, brother.
Yep. Thanks again, Brother Frank, for inviting me on to here and whatnot. I am David Wilson. I'm from the Hala Freedom Summer Program and whatnot, which we were mostly holding from June to late August and whatnot. I am 23 years old, and at the moment, like I said, I've been working with Hala for the past 4 years and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, it's just an honor again to be allowed on here when to be able to talk with you about how important it is to just like get the word out there about our political prisoners and get them back home, man, because there's a lot of injustice going around. It's like, and it's something that people need to know about, man. So thanks again, Brother Frank.
Nah, thank you for your time. You know, I know you came through for CURBFEST, you volunteered, you brought your mother. That was very impressive. You know, it was a family effort. And so I was honored to see you again, and I was honored to meet your mother, and I let her know that she raised a strong young man. And just for you to be 30 years younger than me, that means a lot to me, because now I have somebody who is ready to carry on the work, who is allowing me to teach them some things. And at the same time, I learn from you, right? Because you might make an analysis that I overlooked, or that I thought that I knew more because it's coming from somebody who's younger than me. Now I have to tell myself, oh, back up, easy. There's somebody who has a lot of energy, who want to be a part of something. Allow them to teach you, allow them to navigate, allow them to guide. So I salute you for that, and I thank you. And you know, let me go on to this first question. What did you think about CURBFEST?
Well, just in general, when it comes to CURBFEST in and of itself, I think it's just an incredible an event and whatnot that honestly everyone could get something out of when you get down to it, because it's like, for a little background and whatnot, I actually originally started my activist career and whatnot, or started working with Hala and whatnot for my first CURBFEST like 4 years ago and whatnot, like doing performing outreach and whatnot. And just then, back then, I didn't really know like the importance of it and whatnot, or fully everything like that. I just simply wanted to like help out whatever way I could and whatnot, because I know, but just in general, I originally the first time that I met Corey and Jasiri from Hala and everything like that was in my college, in my college when I had a class called mass incarceration and whatnot, or thinking of mass incarceration class. And in it, I was just inspired by him and like the way that they specifically spoke about their struggle and just all the things that they went through and whatnot, and learning about the Black Panthers and stuff like that. I was like, and everything they did for the community and sacrifice, it motivated me. I just really wanted to go out there and make a change, do something to help improve the state of affairs within our world. And CURBFEST was how I did that. And coming to CURBFEST and seeing all of the people gathered together, unified under one banner to try and like promote and educate the people about like all these prisoners, all these people who fought for us and whatnot, and fought for so many of our rights and whatnot, and who ultimately got locked up by the same system that they're trying to prevent from oppressing us and whatnot. And just in general, it's something that people need to know. And so I 100% recommend that in the future years to come and whatnot, I encourage you all to come and join us and be a part of that, honestly, because it's something that so many young people need to experience and do. I feel like everyone has to be responsible for like trying to support these people, because when you get down to it, man, there's so many families that have just been left behind and forgotten about, including them. And it's like, they deserve to be heard. Like the voices deserve to be. No.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate you for sharing that. And for me, you know, just to see what we're able to accomplish when you have a number of different organizations coming together. You have Black Men's Bill, they showed support. You had Brother Shep, he has an incredible system going on in the Bronx with this big church that he had access to. And then you have a number of organizations that was present there. And you know, you had the December 12th movement. They came out and spoke about reparation and what's coming up August 29th. So I appreciated that, seeing them there and showing us support for what we were doing. And just that presence in that area to let the people of that community understand people are coming together around political prisoners, an idea, a concept that they should be more aware of if they're not. And if they have some understanding, that they're not alone, right? There's other people who have
Mm,
that same feeling, who have that same
I said.
passion about bringing them home. So just for us to express that there and have pictures and have recordings and put it on Facebook and encourage others to share, you know, we recorded history, and now people have that that historical reference to go to when they have to deal with what's going on in their community, and when they have to deal with the
Mm,
concept of an example, right? Sometimes you think that, you know, why am I going to do something? Has this even worked? But now when you look at the historical record and you look at somebody who has done something before, now you say, oh, yes, this person said this person wrote this book, this person had an analysis, and this
mm,
person wasn't alone. They were a part of an organization. So it was a group of people expressing an idea and showing solidarity on that idea. So that's exactly what happened August 22nd in front of Ujamaa and
yeah.
along those other areas in that area. So
Mm,
my next question
right
is,
on.
what was your role in CURBFEST?
Mm. My role in CURBFEST, honestly, it's like I had multiple roles and whatnot. To start, like as a part of a Hala Freedom Summer Program, which is from June, I think 20th or so, 21st and whatnot, all the way down to August 24th and whatnot. Um, uh, we actually every Saturday we're required to go out and perform outreach and whatnot with the people in a sense and let them know about this upcoming event and whatnot. Like we're essentially building towards CURBFEST is like the big final like you know major movement that we trying to like get off the ground and everything like that. And just in general, I was able to talk to a lot of different people, get to know their perspectives on the Black Panthers and everything like that, and just let them know about like this important event that they need to attend and whatnot. Like in it, I also kind of grew myself and whatnot, becoming more of a people person when you get down to it, because that's something that we all I feel like need to also like be in a sense to be able to go out there and help one another and truly look at each other and see from their perspectives in a sense and try to encourage them to not give up hope when you get down to it, because that's something that so many people do not have nowadays, where it's like we're also focused on ourselves and just trying to make the bottom line and keep our heads above the water, that we don't often get to truly look at our state and question and be like, is this really okay? It's like, is this how we want to live and whatnot? Like is this really good for both our environment, for ourselves? Like we need to get on that healing, man. It's like I'm telling you, it's something extremely important. Then on the day of, I actually helped to also set up whatnot alongside my mom and whatnot, and Corey and Jasiri and all of them. We all worked together to set up the stalls for everyone and whatnot, and the sound systems and stuff. And I also myself wrote a letter to one of the political prisoners in prison and whatnot, as well as helping the people who came and showed up and whatnot, to essentially write their own letters and whatnot, just to let them all know, the people locked who are still locked up in there, know that they're not alone, that we hear their cries and that we're doing our best, brother. Like it's like, because Lord knows they need the support more than anyone and whatnot, because they've done so much, man. They don't deserve to be forgotten. So it's like it's our duty in a sense to get out there and make sure that people know that we do fight for these people and whatnot, who are just oppressed and whatnot, so they can get back home to their families and whatnot. But man,
Absolutely, absolutely. Just like you know, just like you. I also had multiple roles. I think that that's what we demonstrated. We demonstrated that, you know, the work is great and the workers are few, but the workers are willing to do more. So now all those things can happen, right? You have to
mm,
have security. I was a part of security. I had to do video. I was a part of that. I was a part of setting up, and I also had to speak, and also had to just make sure everything was coming together, right, from my end, right.
mm,
If there's like 10 of us and all of us willing to do 10 different tasks, then now we have like a force of 100 people, because we
yep.
multiply 10 by 10. So I think that when we look at it from that perspective, then we can accomplish great things. And I think that what we did that day was great. It was great because of the time and the discipline and the focus and the amplified message that got put out. Because during outreach, we covered all the way from Atlantic to Linden Boulevard, and then from Rochester to Schenectady, and we covered residential areas. You know, certain people we spoke to, but majority of the things that we did was put our flyer on the lamppost. And I think that now to continue to see that idea, that concept, political prisoners, CURBFEST, 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 it starts to circulate in the community. The community starts to understand that this is an event that people are taking serious, because I can't go nowhere without being informed that CURBFEST is happening. And now that they know that it's happened, now the discussion can be something that goes on. Or when they look online and hear about a political prisoner, now they be compelled to get more information about it. So your work, my work, all of our work was much needed, and it was expressed in the outcome. So my next question is, has CURBFEST enhanced your view about our political prisoners? And if so, how?
Absolutely. Like, just in general, it's like before I started it, I mentioned it before, but it's like before I started it, I didn't know about any of these people. I'm gonna be real. Like, I genuinely, like, although I did obviously come to get a better understanding through my incarceration class, how the system really works, like how like the police enforcement system and everything like that works, and how they're not actually here to protect the people themselves, and more so just the rich billionaires and their property want for the most part. It's like hearing about that and then learning about it, like, it still wasn't really enough, like when you get down to it, because I'm like, I didn't know about any of this. I didn't know that there are still people who are locked up to this day for simply trying to support the community and trying to like fight back against this ridiculously oppressive system. Like Reverend Joy Power, when I'm hearing about her story and everything, how she lost her son, everything, was getting out there speaking out against police brutality, and then they pin a random crime on her. And I'm like, what? That literally makes no sense. And there's like no evidence or whatsoever, but because the jury is full of white, it's like, man, it's some garbage. And I'm like, nah. It's one of those things where it's like so many people need to know more about it. And going to CURBFEST for the past 4 years, and when I'm participating every single year, I always get something new out of it, like a new experience, something that I didn't know. I always learn more about various political prisoners and whatnot that I wouldn't have known, like, if I hadn't gone. So just in general, it's something that I feel like even kids, like whether it be adults or kids, they can get something out of this experience. They could get so much and learn so many different things about like what it means just in general to be human and to fight back and whatnot. Because we can't just give up our autonomy and whatnot and free will to those on the higher end, because most of the times they don't have our best interest in mind. We gotta decide for ourselves what's right. If you see something wrong on the street or something like that you feel isn't right, then you gotta take the steps towards solving that issue and whatnot. You can't just sit idly by and let others try and do it for you and whatnot. Because again, it's like, oftentimes the ones who you so-called trust and are ones that are allegedly on top, or supposed to be the ones who control all the power. Oftentimes, if it's built a certain way, if you're seeing these issues on here, most likely the root cause is because they want it to be that way. And it's like, and that's something that's like, no, we gotta gather together, and when you get down to it, organizing and like just communicating with each other and whatnot, and being able to host these like events and whatnot, and just spread the word to countless different people, and stand up and tell those in power that no, we are not okay with something. That's the way we make change, in my opinion. At least that's how I see it. That's how we can truly make change, not by looking in, like not by closing ourselves off from other people, but by looking into each other, recognizing that hurt, healing from it, and then reaching it out to other people to try and grant them that same, like I said, to build bridges and connections and whatnot. That's how I view real change. How we're ever going to get out of this.
And I agree with you. And just like you said something about like taking it in and then letting it out, right? To me, that's or autopilot. I go on autopilot because I say, don't let political prisoners die. Don't let them die in jail. Yep. Don't let them die in prison. Don't let them die in prison. So I say that enough time where I start doing things that I'm not even aware of. I just know that it has to be done because it's going to raise awareness about political prisoners. So when during outreach, we were giving out these palm cards, and in the back of them, it gave the definition of political prisoners. And one of the things that I do on this podcast is make sure I go over the term or the definition of a political prisoner and a prisoner of war, so that it could be repetitious, so people could start hearing it often over and over again. So now automatically they know it, and automatically they understand the importance and the severity of the situation. So it's not something that we take lightly. So political prisoner, a person who is held in confinement because of their support for people struggling for freedom from an oppressive government or against its oppressive policies, or participating in an organization involved in such a freedom struggle. And for the definition of prisoner of war, a national combatant of an oppressed nation held in confinement by the oppressor nation because of their participation in the organization fighting for self-determination, independence, or national liberation from the oppressor nation, or for support of or identity with that struggle. So you have those two definitions, those two ideas, those two concepts. And that's what CURBFEST did for me in terms of my relationship with political prisoner and the idea of don't let political prisoners die in prison. It was, this is how you do it. You bring it to the community. You let the community know, like, listen, business is not going to go on as normal on this area, in this corner, right? It might seem very small, but it's actually something big because it's something that's not happening regularly, weekly, daily, hourly.
Even a small effect like that.
That's absolutely, absolutely. It trickles down or it trickles over. So the next question is, what message do you have for your generation about CURBFEST?
Well, honestly, when you get down to it, the major thing is, as I mentioned before and whatnot, it's extremely important that we do what we can in a sense and get into like actual like politics or revolutionary work and whatnot. Like, in all honesty, we cannot just sit idly by. But I know it might be hard sometimes in truth, because I myself have faced it. I faced the stress of having to like juggle multiple different things, whether it be like a job and whatnot, and like also trying to like I said, support my family and whatnot, trying to do well in college and whatnot, and like having to deal with the deadlines and stuff like that, and the constant work and grind. Like it's, I know it can be hellish oftentimes in truth, and sometimes you do genuinely just want to give up, and that's the thing. A lot of people do just give into their in a sense their apathy. They stop caring about anything and whatnot. They just say, "This is just the way it is. It's fine. It's completely fine. I could just keep going. I could keep going. It's no issue." They on that grind mentality and whatnot because of the fact that we ourselves are hurt. That's the thing. We've been hurt by the system that, when you get down to it, isn't for us. It isn't designed to support us and whatnot. It isn't designed to treat us like humans. It's designed to treat us like livestock when you get down to it. Like, not even, maybe even worse, honestly, more like machines. Like we ourselves are missing that core humanity as of late. And I feel like that's what I've come to realize. And it's something that we absolutely, like, moving forward, nothing's ever going to change if you sit back and let other people try and do it for you. If you really want to see that change, you got to look inside yourself. And even if it's hard, look towards others and whatnot. Rely on, like, come out and truly do whatever you can to make that change and to see it come to fruition. Like, go and connect with other people, similar to how I have and whatnot. Talk to those around you, even your friends, your family and whatnot. Try your best to like talk to them and see eye to eye with them, and your neighbors and stuff like that. Even if it's like small things, just like helping out your neighbors with groceries and stuff like that, if they're like struggling and whatnot, or going out and like mowing their lawn or something, or trying to just do even small acts like that and whatnot goes a long way in making people know that they're loved, and that people, when you get down to it, we are humans and we deserve to be treated as such, and to have basic human rights, like whether it be like healthcare or freaking just like proper education and whatnot. Like, straight up, it's like the freedom to our own like beliefs and religions and whatnot without being prosecuted constantly. Like, just the freedom to walk on the street without having to feel so like scared for your own life when there's cops around and other things like that. Like, we have to look inside ourselves and like push ourselves to make that change every single day, even if it's like small things and whatnot, whether like going out for walks or something like that, or eating healthier and whatnot. We gotta take that step, because even those small steps go a long way in just helping you to heal and truly be able to change that world. Because the way things are going right now, it's like we won't have much time left with how it's going. So I encourage you, everyone who's watching right now, I plead with you, and I encourage you to come next year and whatnot. We hold it every single year, whether it be around August or September and whatnot. Come to outreach and whatnot if you can and whatnot. Try to like encourage other people, and even if you can't, like, I insist you attend CURBFEST and whatnot, and be able to support these people who have been like locked up and and have no hope for themselves and whatnot. Because when you get down to it, it's like they're the ones who've started this and whatnot, or started this, or ignited this flame within me and countless other people. They're the ones who helped out with the food programs, like back in the day with the Black Panthers, who did treat and care for all those around us when the government refused to do so and whatnot. And it's like, that's something like I can't accept that. I can't accept those people being punished for trying to do what's right when you get down to it, overall and just. And it's like, as it might sound naive, but when you get down to it, that's the core of what being human is. If we can't even reach out for that, if we can't reach out and try to, fight for that better future, then at that point we're truly lost. It's like, what else can we do? We're just going to keep on continuing in this cycle of exploitation and greed until eventually the earth ain't going to be anymore, because we're damaging the environment. We're doing countless different things where all of us humans are basically soulless and empty. Like, are we really living at that point? It's like, we have to take responsibility for ourselves, be independent, and make our own choices and fight for our own freedoms when you get down to it. Because the bottom line, we all deserve better. It doesn't matter who you are, what skin color you are. It's like, no, everyone deserves to have basic human rights. Everyone deserves to be treated as if they're human and to be able to enjoy life in whatever way, like I can and whatnot. It's like, and it's our duty to make sure that happens.
Yes, brother. Yes, I really am inspired by your passion. And I know we had experiences doing outreach in South Jamaica. So this is something that you really are real about, because I seen you off camera. I seen you in the community and we had these conversations. And I really I really admire your discipline, because of when we was doing outreach, when I spoke to you about certain things and how we was moving, you just listened. You fell in line. We had a system and like rank and file, and and that meant a lot to me, right? Because sometimes somebody of your generation might see somebody of my generation and think like, oh man, he's old and his time is up, and it's my time now, so I ain't got to listen to that. But you are willing to listen, and me, I'm willing to listen to you and accept leadership in certain things that I need to accept it, as far as getting this idea out there, because I think that that's what our people need to see. Our people need to see two generations working together, different races working together around the idea and the concept of political prisoner. And that's what I was inspired about, what I witnessed during CURBFEST. I just thinking about, at this point, I just want to go back and forth for certain highlights. We still have 3 more minutes before this episode ends, and I think that it's important for us to relive that mentally, right? Of course, we got the videos. It's been recorded. I had about over 2 hours of recording, and then it was on live on Black Power Media. So anybody who didn't see it, you have the opportunity to see it on Black Power Media, and please share it with as many people as possible. You can still donate. We need donations. We need to finance our freedom strategy, because that's what is necessary to bring our political prisoners home. I think that when I looked at CURBFEST this year, I was inspired by, somebody spoke about deed theft. I know I spoke about navigating politically through the shelter system. I know December 12th movement, they spoke about reparation. I know that, I don't think none of the food was left over. So that was good that the community and even the people who were there, who actually were part of the CURBFEST, they got to eat. So everybody ate well. I thought it was educational. We made sure that we named the people that we needed to name. Brother Zaid Muhammad talked about Kenny Zulu Whitmore and what he's going through. And he spoke about Sekou Denga and the liberation of Asada Shakur, and the fact that, the state tried to get Kamal Siddiqui to work with them so that they could capture her, and he refused. So I think that story or those stories need to be told over and over again, because people need to be reminded of their history of resistance. So those were some of the highlights for me. What were some of the highlights with you, brother?
Honestly, it's like, just in general, like some of the major highlights I'd be hearing is just the fact that it's like, as shown, or just seeing all the young performers going on, seeing all the people come out here and genuinely like speak for the hearts. Like, for example, talking about the issues in Cuba and whatnot that are going on, like the resistance that is forming around there, the resistance in Haiti and whatnot, or Haiti. And it's like just learning about all these different groups and seeing all these people come out and rap and like just or just like essentially speak from their hearts and perform from their hearts, everything like that. It's inspiring. It shows you that when you get down to it, it's like, nah, although everything may seem bleak and whatnot, it ain't over yet. Like we still have not lost whatnot. It's like when you get down to it, we just gotta keep pushing and whatnot and truly believe in one another. We cannot just assume that, oh, everyone's out to get me and that, oh, it's like, this is not like, nah, it ain't worth it, bro. It won't make any change, even if we do try and everything like that. When you get down to it, it's like, no, trying is part of, it's a part of being human. I feel like reaching out and trying to connect and whatnot, even if it's like you're nervous and whatnot and you're scared, it's like, it just, like I said, the more you do it, the more you come to connect and truly come to understand that you're not alone in this struggle. Everyone has a role to play in this. We all have a responsibility to see it through, even if it's like, yeah, even if the government and everything else around you in your world tries to tell you that you ain't worth anything, you need to know that you yourself have an inherent value. Just the fact that you were born is enough to prove that you have a right to live. You have a right to decide for yourself how you want to live, how you like to get something better for your family and whatnot, and to be able to truly just, yeah.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your passion. Looking forward to doing more work with you around CURBFEST, around political prisoners. Stay in the books, keep me educated. You are our future. So understand that what you're doing is going to decide our destiny, right? You're part of a group, a part of a generation that has that responsibility, as well as my generation. But you know, that relationship is continuing to grow, it's continuing to develop, and it's going to only get stronger by us having conversations like this, allowing each other to feed off of each other. So you know the call. What's the call?
Free them all.
What's the call?
Free them all.
Peace and love, brother.
The same here, man. It's like